with another round of the Mother Side, and the start of a new school year can really throw families for a loop after a restful summer, and the new routines can be particularly difficult for children. So here with steps to better help them through life's disruptions is divorce coach Andrea Hibbs. Andrea, so good to see you.
To see you again too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, okay, so before we get to your tips, let's start with defining what disruption actually means for families.
Right. Disruption is just any significant change that alters your roles, your routines, or your relationships. And when that happens, we always know that introduces uncertainty. So that's sort of how we start with our definition of disruption.
Okay, and that makes sense. I mean, we're changing things up all of a sudden, once back to school happens. So, what is it that kids need most during these disrupted seasons, if you will?
Yeah, the literature suggests that kids need one safe adult who can remind them of what is certain and coach them through what is uncertain, right? When we get into spaces that are uncertain, we tend to go a little haywire, and our kids do too. And so the pro tip here is to really dial into, we do this all the time. We've gone through a lot of change and we will do it again, right? And so we just keep reminding them this is what we do as we grow into adulthood.
Yeah, just kind of holding their hand, walking them through it. Can you give us a few other ways that as parents can create these safe spaces to discuss kind of these disruptions and schedule changes with our kids?
Yeah, you really need to dial into the age and stage that your kid is, right? So for our little kids, they need very concrete concepts, right? This change is happening. This is how it will influence you. For our middle-aged kids, you can get into a lot more of a dialogue around a question and answer around the change. And our teenagers, they can go abstract, they can go complex. But regardless of what age they are, we're trying to underscore for them the normalcy of change. I think somehow we've adopted a stance that things shouldn't change. And when we do that, we get very rigid and very fixed. So we want to create kids and grow kids that are able to be a little more nimble and a little more flexible with that.
Yeah, and it's so true because change is inevitable. So if we can help them kind of ride that wave of change, but I think sometimes as parents, we're trying to navigate these changes as well. So what advice do you have for us?
Yeah, I try to help my divorce coaching clients sort of understand it from, you're a change partner with your kids, right? You're not a change manager. And so as a change partner, you need to make sure that you're fortifying your own self and your ability to be sort of that guide and that champion through the change. And so obviously step one is taking care of your body, moving, making sure you're drinking water. But, a big step of it is also being emotionally responsible and sort of evidencing for your kids what emotionally responsible activities look like. But really under all of it, though, is this idea that we really need to tell the truth to ourselves. I think we're always trying to create a story that's just a little bit better than the one that we're in. But when we as adults can tell the truth to ourselves, it gives us a great sense of capacity to be able to help our kids face reality as well.
Yeah, I think that it's important, as parents to kind of say as well, maybe sometimes some of our fears when it comes to change and being really transparent. I'm sure that that helps them as well. Lastly, how about we talk about the importance of not resisting these disruptive periods?
Yes, the old adage is that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, right? And suffering only comes from when we resist. And so the best posture to be in when we're going through a change and to help our kids through it is to start asking yourself the question, how can I start working with this change instead of against this change? And really checking yourself in the ways that you're resisting it so that you can start to embrace it and sort of be one step ahead of your kid as they're trying to do the same.
Andrea, always some really great information from you. How can we connect with you?
I'm at AndreaHibbsDivorceCoach.com. I'm helping families all the time navigate change in ways that are more beautiful than what culture leads us to believe is possible.
Aw, I love that. Well said. All right, well, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time on the Mother Side.
Thank you.